Hi everybody! Just going to give you a little introduction to some of the lab equipment and where it can be found in our room. I'm going to do this the best that I can with my little webcam here, so just bear with me. We're in my classroom here in this lovely lab station. Okay, we're at lab station number 3. Any of the equipment for this lab station could be found in this drawer, which is a mess, or this door. And so we're going to be looking at the equipment needed to build your boiling point apparatus. So everything, when you finally come back to school and actually get to run these labs, will be found in here. And if it isn't, then I will provide you the extra equipment. And away we go. So the equipment we're going to need today are a ring stand, like so. We are going to need a test tube clamp. We're going to need 2 of these babies. We're going to put one on like so. And this is actually going to hold a collection test tube. And we're going to need the O-ring. There's our lovely little O-ring. We just put that right on and wind that down into place. Boop. And we're going to use our ceramic screen. And that's going to help to evenly distribute the flame and the heat from our Bunsen burner, which will be placed ever so nicely under here. Okay. And of course plugged into the main jets. And we're going to need a second test tube clamp. And that is going to be able to hold our flask full of liquid. And so we're going to just put that right up there like that. Make sure that is all set up fine and dandy. And we're going to need a collection bucket with water in it, because we're going to want to cool the hot vapors that are being boiled away, and we're going to want to recondense them in cool water so we can collect back any of the liquid that has gone through its phase change. We're going to want to make sure that's nice and stable. Stable is as stable does. And so far, so good. Okay, and so once we have this bit set up, we are going to take our flask with substance, and we are going to set that up right in here. Make sure that fits right in there. And we want this test tube holder to just clamp onto this flask so that if this was removed, it is just going to sit there. It's not going anywhere. It's right underneath that little lip. Excellent. And then we would drop in a couple of boiling chips, which are porcelain chips, to help evenly heat the liquid inside. And so just a few of these little chippies dropped right in there. They look like rocks. That's fantastic. And then we have our thermometer, Celsius thermometer here, and it is adhered to a stopper. And so I'm going to position this in so it's stoppered in there and that I can actively read the thermometer. And from there I'm adding this glass tubing into this side of the double hole stopper. That is going to collect any vapors that are going to be coming out of here. And then we want to make sure to direct this tube away from the flame, and that is going to go into a collecting tube in our water bucket. So, we then simply add our collecting tube and tighten that up right in there so that we have all of the heated liquid. We'll then recondense down this tubing and into here so we can collect any of the liquid that boils away. Because we don't want it to just boil away to no man's land. You might notice that the thermometer right here is not actually immersed in the liquid, and that's okay. We're going to be registering the temperature of the vapor as it is coming off the base of the liquid. And there we have it, kiddos. This is our boiling point apparatus. Now, typically in our lab documents, any of the apparatus or fancy equipment set up that you are going to be using to run a lab, we would want to make sure that there was a labeled drawing of said apparatus. And so I would just draw this kind of like this. And this is going to represent the ring stand. So I'm going to draw all this first, and then we're going to label it up. Attached to this is it's kind of like a test tube clamp. Here's our water bucket, and there's going to be a test tube in there, and above that is going to be kind of like our O-ring with our screen and our flask. And that is also attached with that. And in here is going to be our thermometer and then the tubing that is going to come down. And of course, under here would be our Bunsen burner. And just like that, how beautiful and gorgeous. And of course, for you, that is probably upside down. So let's try this. Ready? Awesome. Okay, so once you have this roughly drawn, we're just going to label it. All right, so here we go. Remember this piece right here, this is the ring stand. This was our Bunsen burner. This is our water bucket. This is our collecting tube. This whole piece is our flask with tubing. So I'm going to go flask, and this is our thermometer with tubing, right? So now you can see the whole thing. Okay, so what am I forgetting here? This piece here was the O-ring. This right here was our ceramic screen. And let's see, both of those two pieces are test tube clamps. And so is this one. Great. And so once you have this baby right here just like this, I would just go ahead and snap a photo of it and get that inserted into your lab document. And this is our boiling point apparatus. And there you have it. I hope that was not too painful to watch. I hope you get that drawn and labeled up nicely and inserted into your boiling point document. See you soon.